So let's start off with our session one. What is cloud platform, right? Cloud platform for folks who don't have any experience. Again, I'm going to start off from there, guys. So bear with me if you guys already, champion in cloud, or maybe, you have some basics about clouds. There might be others who are participating in this webinar. They may not know. And the idea of setting up this webinar is to start from scratch, people who don't know about the cloud platform. So this might sound a little bit basic, maybe the first session, today's session, but after that, I think once we pass this hurdle, when get into the second session, EC2s and stuff, then you'll probably get the actual core of using those services. So bear with me in the first session. What is a cloud platform? Assume responsibility of data center on the fly, right? A very powerful term, because what happens is that in the previous old times, right, and of course to date as well, I'm not saying that everybody has migrated over the cloud, but at least in the past, people relied totally on the data center invention of the cloud, right? And whenever we want to set up our infrastructure, we have to probably, rent a space on a data center, right? And a rec space, for example, has been a very big name, right? So those data centers would actually provide you a rack, right? It would provide you the space there you can actually put your blades. And then you would have actually a network engineer who needs to actually constantly go in and then, do the wiring, right? And then make sure the new blade is installed. Maybe a net storage needs to be installed, right? So physically, you have to go to those data centers and then actually install all those stuff, right? And you will be charged. And again, to date, we do have our presence on AWS and Azure both. Majority is on AWS, then we do have a presence on Azure. Certain our servers are there, but we do have a data center as well, where some of the servers are still hosted on the data center. So if you ask me in comparison, which one is better to maintain, obviously the cloud is, because remotely I can do a lot of things. But then of course there is some security concerns and whatnot. Then you may want to probably keep some of the stuff on premise, and then you can still connect the two using the some of the connectivity between your data center and the cloud, and then push the data back and forth. And we'll cover that in later sessions. So now what you have is basically a data center on the fly. So now you don't have those physical rack space, types of spaces where you go in physically and install your blade servers, but rather you just say, you know what, I need this piece of hardware. Can you just spin it up? You click on it and you get it. Or you say, you know what, I'm done with this hardware. I really don't need this virtual machine. I don't need that much storage. You say uninstall, and you maybe delete it, and boom, it's gone, and it's no more cost to you. So a very dynamic way of creating data centers on the fly. Shared and dedicated resources on a common hosting platform, CPU, memory, disk storage. So obviously you can have a dedicated servers for yourself as well, but that's going to cost you more. The idea of moving over to cloud is the efficiency and speed and cost, right? Effectiveness. So if you are actually not sharing, then obviously you need to have a dedicated instances of your instances, hardware, and all that stuff, which means that you have to have your servers, everything dedicated to yourself. That means that once you have used it, right, then you can easily turn off your environment, and then you save the cost. But if you are actually needing a dedicated instance of hardware, then you can definitely get it on the cloud, but then it's going to cost you a lot of money. So you have to kind of pick and choose what you want. Clouds take care of managed services, all of those services. For example, the upping of your EC2 instance, virtual machine, the EBS, the storages, physical security, security patches, adding physical storage, like for example on the SAN, and installation of the basic operating system. You don't have to worry about all that stuff. When you spin off a machine on the cloud, virtual machine, everything is done for you. When I say physical security, obviously we are talking about any data center you go to. If you have visited, you would probably have some security cameras, some biometric, before you get in. Our data center in Austin, if I go there, then obviously we have to go through some security hoops before I can actually get to the cage where our servers are stored. So that all stuff has been taken care of Amazon. You don't really have to worry about the physical security, and you never visit what they call the availability zone / a region.